Guys, welcome back to the A to B podcast, where every topic is fair game. So sit back, relax, and let's dive right in. So,
What's happening?
not much, man. I am absolutely shattered.
Me too.
It's
I
been-
swear we always complain about this at the start of every episode.
No, but this is a wee bit more so than usual because this is one of the busiest weekends in wrestling history every year.
Every year,
WrestleMania weekend.
WrestleMania.
Yeah, so I haven't had much sleep over the last 3 days because I've been up watching wrestling, going to wrestling shows, hanging about with the wrestlers, and eating a lot of crap. I've only trained once.
You've
In
also
fact,
not shaved.
I've not shaved. Yeah, I've not done anything for the last 3 days other than sit and watch wrestling and play wrestler.
Pre wrestler.
Play wrestler, yeah.
Oh,
As in like doing wrestling.
Doing
now.
wrestling. Yeah.
But-
But what happened in WrestleMania then? Because I did not
So-
watch it.
I watched Friday Night SmackDown, and it was just basically the go home show for WrestleMania. And Randy Orton came out, cut a promo, and he said his opponent Kevin Owens, that they had been building the story for months about, has been injured and he's not going to be able to compete. So he set an open challenge to anybody, which I'll come back to. And then there was the go home segment between Cody and Cena. Cody's the champion. Cena has turned to a bad guy, and that was good. They had their exchange back and forward, and Cena is just amazing at promos.
Yeah.
He's so good on the mic. And then
He's had lots of acting experience as
yeah,
well.
and then I watched the Hall of Fame. And Triple H was the main inductee for the Hall of Fame this year, so he got put into the WWE Hall
He's
of
one of my
Fame.
favourite wrestlers.
Yeah, same. And Shawn Michaels was the one that was inducting him, so he done like a wee 15-minute speech before he came out, and I think I cried 3 times.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Like, not like full on crying, but
Yeah.
I get choked up, my eyes were watering, and I was sitting next to Amy, and she was like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
It was emotional.
It's like Rory McIlroy all over again.
Honestly, man, it was wild because it's like they're so old now. I know that sounds bad, but they're so old now, and
Yeah.
it's like when I was younger, they were like superheroes, and to see where they are now, it's
I feel like
it's
that
not like it's
way-
upsetting. It's just like it's sad to know I'm not a kid anymore, and they're getting old, and
I
I'm getting old.
feel like that with everything just now.
Yeah,
Like all my tennis players that I grew up watching have all retired now.
Mhm.
You've got like obviously these guys that just look old. Fabs is watching Friends just now, and then like to see that and realise obviously they're all like well old now. Obviously Matthew Perry's
Matthew
dead
Perry's
now.
passed away. Yeah,
Like just so I feel like so many things just now. Everyone, and then I'm going to my pal stag do next month as well, and I'm like my first friend's actually getting
Yeah.
married. Like, I just feel old as fuck.
I know it is. It's terrifying. Like the Pope died.
Oh yeah,
Monday. Today.
yeah, which is so weird.
Yeah, like Pope
The
Francis.
timing, he timed it
RIP, man.
perfectly.
That's wild. I think. God's sake, that's ridiculous. But it's just mental. Everybody's getting so old.
Yeah.
Time is a scary, scary concept.
Yeah.
We were actually talking about that downstairs before the podcast started, how we feel we've not got any time. When
Oh, yeah.
realistically, us, we've got all the time in the
Oh
world.
yeah, it
But,
doesn't
like-
feel like you do, but yeah, we do have a lot of time, but it does just go by so quickly. Like we're going into May soon.
Mm-hmm. I
What
knew
the
you
hell?
was yesterday. What the fuck happened?
Yeah. Like, why is it that it just? I swear we've said this before. That's on the podcast. It's obviously because we're so busy
Mhm.
that it doesn't feel like you get downtime. So it just goes by so quick. It's
Yeah,
nuts.
I know. But anyway, back to WrestleMania. So I stayed up for the first night, and it was in Vegas this year. It was in a big stadium, the Raiders Stadium, the NFL one. And the stage was class. They've actually got seats on the stage now, and they've got like big Love Island seats and all that. It's VIP.
That's
and
quite
it's
cool.
like,
Yeah.
imagine like they're probably like $8,000 a ticket. Like genuinely, it'll be somewhere.
Were they all full as
mental
well?
like that. Yeah, pretty much. The stadium was packed, man. Over the full weekend, there was something like 124,000 seats filled.
That's crazy.
I know.
Yeah.
60,000 or so on the first day and 70,000 on the second day. Aye, it was wild. But aye, so the first night was okay. It was good. All the matches were like passable, and that's not me putting them down. I'm just saying that there wasn't anything really, really memorable about any of them other than
Like
the
all
main
your
event.
matches.
Pretty much. Pretty much, aye. Sorry, I'm
I do.
stop the recording and go home. But- Yeah, so the matches were all good, but the main event was exceptional. It was CM Punk, Seth Rollins, and Roman Reigns, and it's been building for a while. And Roman Reigns has obviously got Paul Heyman with him. I don't even know if you know who that is, but Paul Heyman's like the wise man. He's like his manager that stands at the side of the ring.
Right, okay.
And he
I always hate those guys.
I know, but like Paul Heyman's a really good one. And wee backstory, like 10, 15 years ago, Paul Heyman used to do the same thing for CM Punk.
Yeah.
So there was like this back and forward between the build to this match where like he didn't know who to support.
Right.
And then towards the end of the match, spoilers, I mean this will be out next week, so if you don't know what's happened then it's on you. But basically Paul Heyman hit Punk with a low blow.
Yeah.
Came into the ring, hit Punk with a low blow, and then he hit Roman Reigns with a low blow, and he joined Seth. So it was really good. It was a really, really it was a good match, really good finish, and that was to cap off the first night. But night 2 might be the best WrestleMania I've stayed up to watch since I was a kid.
Oh wow!
It was actually amazing.
Do you feel like that's just because you understand it more now?
Yeah, I can appreciate it more as well. But every single match was great.
And also, do you think obviously because of the stuff that's happened, it's more nostalgic?
Yeah. Well, there was a bit towards the end of the show where Stone Cold's music hit out of nowhere. And there's a video of me that my mate posted. I'll send it to you so you can edit it in. I'm just like speechless, and he's like laughing and all that, and I'm just sat like, that's it. I wasn't saying anything. I was just sitting there. It was mental. And oh my God, he came out, he announced this attendance record, and he came out on a quad bike like he usually does, get the stairs moved and does a couple of laps of the ring.
Yeah.
He crashed into the barricade and hit a woman.
Oh wow.
But this showed it in slow motion, so he hit the barricade, the woman stands there, gets a fright, realises what's happening, and then falls. So she's just went, I want some money.
Yeah.
I'm going to sue WWE. But anyway, that happened, and Stone Cold got in, and I announced the attendance for the 2 nights, and then he just drank hundreds of beers and left, and it was great.
Nice.
And then the main event was John Cena and Cody, and Cena won his 17th championship, so that's it. He's the highest number of title reigns, world title reigns of all time now. He just beat,
How old is Cena?
1977, so he's, what is that? He's 47?
47, aye.
47, man. Mad.
Yeah.
And he's retiring.
Aye, well, understandable.
I know. He's done a lot. He doesn't he doesn't need to wrestle anymore.
Yeah.
But it's going to be emotional. He's got the rest of 2025 to go, and then that's him. He'll be done. Hanging the boots up, which is funny because he never wore wrestling boots. He always wore high tops.
Yeah. Yeah, Cena, I always remember Cena being, just one of the best wrestlers that you watched. But I feel like all the best wrestlers aren't necessarily good at wrestling. They're just great showmen.
Yeah, that's the gig, man. That's what you want to do. Like, you could be the best wrestler in the world, but if the fans don't care why you're wrestling, why are they going to pay to see you?
It's very true.
Like, you want to get to the level of popularity that, like, there was a house show somewhere in America, like 15 years ago. Taker was at his prime, and Taker, for some reason or another, couldn't do the show.
Yeah.
And they gave every fan in attendance a 50% refund just because that one wrestler couldn't attend the show. The rest of them was fine. The rest of it was fine.
Yeah.
Taker couldn't show up, so they get 50% refunds. That's how your level of popularity.
Yeah.
That's what you want to get to. That's incredible.
That is incredible. Also, you'd be raging if you were the people that run in it.
I know. You would be.
Just because he couldn't show up.
Aye. But
I
that
think
just shows you the Taker was one of a kind.
Yeah, I think it's like the same with every industry, but isn't it? That the more popular they are, the better you'll do.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's always, I always say it all the time, it's not what you know, it's who you know.
Mm-hmm. Aye, it's the same everywhere, but we had this conversation last week when we were talking about the Masters. Like, characters, doesn't matter if it's wrestling where people always go, it's fake. Like, a character that people can engage with and invest in, and they can get to know them, and they hear these stories about them and they go, that's quite cool. Then they see them do something wild on telly and they're like, I quite like that.
Yeah.
That kind of stuff is what keeps people want to come back. Whereas if you are a straight-laced, boots and trunks wrestler, I'm just describing myself, and you just come in and you do a wrestling match and then go home, nobody's going to care.
Yeah.
There needs to be layers to it. You need to build that
Well,
character.
it's like, it's all the stuff you possibly do outside the ring as well.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, outside the ring, when you've got the picture with the kids and stuff like that, that's more likely going to get you fans than what in the ring is.
Yeah.
Because if you don't have that, because at the end of the day, I know you're obviously still going to keep your your character up for outside the ring, but even then your personality is going to come across as well.
Yeah.
But then that's what people get attached to all the time,
100%.
which I always think is the hardest thing to do across camera.
But keep your personality. and
Get
not
your
be fake.
personality across. Yeah.
Well, when I watched my promos from when I first started wrestling, don't get me wrong, I've still got a long way to go. But when I watched my promos from like 3 years ago compared to now, I look like a robot back then. And now I come across more natural now. But I mean, like I say, I've still got loads of work to do with them. But I just feel like my promos back then, it wasn't me, it was just wrestler number 2 template. But
Yeah.
there you go.
Yeah.
That's what I was. But it's starting to develop some layers and stuff now. My character's starting to get a wee bit more to it, I think, in ICW. Don't get me wrong. When I first started and I started calling myself the Panther, it was just like, I don't know, my music's done by Steel Panther, so I'm the Panther.
Yeah.
That is literally the reason that it started. And
I feel
to be
like
honest
that's
with you,
how
that
everyone starts though.
yeah, like to be honest with you, that's like still the reason that I would say to people. There isn't like a reason that I was called the Panther, but like Batista was called the Animal. Why was he called the Animal?
Well,
Just
yeah.
because he thought it sounded cool. That was it. Like, and he's an animal.
It was the same when I named my business Evolve. It wasn't like Evolve, just like I
Yeah.
had any.
It's just a cool word.
It's a cool word, and it's actually it's just obviously a way of saying you're helping your clients improve. It's like you're helping your clients evolve.
Yeah.
Like, it's just a different way of saying it. Like that's what. Yeah, there's no always necessarily a deeper meaning behind names. But then the one thing I always notice as well though, I actually seen what's his name? Very famous TikToker, and he gives advice to people that want to create content, how to do things and that. And one thing is that he always says is keep like your name like short and catchy, and actually like some people just put their names, so you can have a stage name, or you can have your name, either or. Like it's obviously just short and catchy. So like if you look at famous YouTubers that he used, for example, like Chunks, Nico, KSI, like all these people, it's their stage names, but it's just like short and quick and easy. So
like imagine KSI was called Illagidi Olatunji.
yeah,
Like that would never have got over.
yeah, yeah. People wouldn't, because you wouldn't. It's harder to go. Oh, do you know that? Oh, did you?
Exactly,
Yeah. So like it makes
KSI.
so it makes it so much harder. So having like a stage name, just keep it short compared to something long.
And then on the opposite end of it, Deji used to be he used to actually call himself Comedy Shorts Gamer.
Yeah, see, that's
That's so strange. He just use Deji, mate.
Yeah.
Like he does now, but Deji was so much cooler.
Yeah, but I feel like some people always try and complicate it too much when a lot of people are buying into you and not buying into, like if you are just like a product and you don't have the face to the product, then yes. But even then, if you're selling a product, if you have that emotional attachment to your story, like why you started up the product, then it's more likely to sell compared to like just a.
You see people doing that now. Like people actually like. I saw a thing on TikTok. God, this is actually completely making my argument collapse in itself because I don't remember what it was. But it was basically this lassie had been doing stuff. Oh, do you know what it was? It was a pre-workout. It wasn't like gummies or chewing gum. It was a. I can't remember. I actually can't remember. I think it was like
pre-workout that isn't just powder.
Yeah, it was some form of pre-workout that you could use, and like I think it was like how you get snus.
Ah, right, okay.
It was like that, but with pre-workout, and you put it in, you just use that for a while, then you put it back in the box. And apparently, like she was like, I don't like sweeties. I didn't want to eat anything before I trained because I was fasting in the mornings, and I didn't want to drink pre-workout because it didn't agree with me. And she was like, "This is what my solution was," and she now sells them, and she's made a fortune off them.
Yeah.
But she's not just like saying that; she's showing you clips of her. Like, she'll wake up, getting ready, and then she'll go, throw that in, and then just before she walks into the gym, she'll take it out and put it back in the box and go back in, and then it's like, this is how she does it, and it's quite cool. But that's the thing, like if you can show like a genuine, authentic experience with a product, people are going to like relate to that more than here. Look at this, buy.
Yeah.
It just works more.
Yeah, it's the same as like, for example, if you were to obviously get sponsored, like if you genuinely believed in the product that you're sponsoring, you're probably going to sell more because you're going to like. I'm trying to think. Do you use any pre-workout?
I don't anymore, no.
Protein?
No.
No. What supplements do you use?
Creatine.
Creatine. Okay, so because you already use creatine, and then like say my proteins take I need you to like sponsor
Yeah.
the creatine, you're more likely to say how good creatine is because you already have the knowledge on it and why you personally use
Yeah.
it. Whereas if then told you, like sponsor our clothes,
Mm.
you don't really own any My Protein clothes.
Nah, I used to wear quite a lot of my protein, right? And this has got to sound pure. In fact, no, they've got bigger guys in their shop, so it doesn't even make sense. But like, my body shape doesn't work with their kind of fit.
Yeah.
With their clothes. It doesn't even look right on
I
the
just
other
think My
thing.
Protein's like their main stuff is supplements. It's not clothes, so their clothes isn't obviously going to be as high quality
Yeah.
as other clothing brands.
Like Gymshark, I don't even know I wear Gymshark that much anymore.
I feel like Gymshark's really like
The only two that I've got 2 items of clothing for Gymshark that I wear consistently all the time, and it's my gym rags. It's like a big oversized jumper that's cut really wide at the neck, so my traps hang at it, and it's really big and baggy, and it looks inside out and off frayed, and it's cool. I've got a white one. No, a white one. Pardon me. That was disgusting. A grey one and a black one, and I wear them all the time. Yeah.
to be fair, I do have some Gymshark tops that I wear, but
All of my like gym clothes are just cheap crap. Like,
yeah, like this.
This is a Boohoo top, and I'm not saying Boohoo's cheap crap, but it's very cheap and it's reliable and comfy. Like that's what I would like.
I think this was like 20 quid or something.
Yeah, this was like £11.
Oh right, yeah.
Yeah, and
It's good to me.
the one that I posted like a week ago, the Donkey Kong one. In fact, I wore it on the podcast.
Yeah, you were on the podcast.
In
Yeah.
fact, that's 2 weeks in a row I've wore a brown t-shirt.
Oh no,
I know,
you're gonna get slated.
I know, but no, I'm not. Nobody watches this. Yeah.
Yeah.
But aye, Donkey Kong t-shirts to the gym. I wore a Star Wars one to the gym that I wore in the podcast quite a lot as well. It's the Darth Vader one. Speaking of Star Wars, this Friday I'm going to see Revenge of the Sith in the cinema with my pals for the first time since 2005.
Well, I actually went to the cinema last year to watch Star Wars as well.
Phantom Menace.
Yeah.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, it was good. But the cinema, I don't actually go as much as I would like to be fair, but it's just because it's so expensive and also there's not anything really good to go watch.
Revenge of the Sith.
No.
I'm not even kidding when I say this. I'm going to cry on multiple occasions during that movie.
Mate, you cry all the time.
I'm an emotional guy. Like, see, when it comes to things that I'm passionate about, like wrestling, Star Wars, like
That's about
that's
it.
it. That's when I cry. That's when I cry.
But why would you cry at Star Wars though? Like, what is it to cry?
Star Wars is a love story. No, I'm serious.
It's a love story.
It's the most tragic and gut wrenching story that's ever existed. The story of Anakin Skywalker is actually heartbreaking.
That's 'cause you've not watched the anime. It's not that good.
Oh, shut up. Anakin Skywalker is literally born out of the Force. He's the chosen one. He's raised to believe that his entire life. The most powerful Jedi that's ever existed, yet he never gets trusted, ever. So he thinks the only way that he can save the love of his life is to turn to the dark side, even though he doesn't want to save her life. And through that ends up accidentally killing her with his power because he's too strong. So he needs to live with that in
Clearly
pain.
wasn't the chosen
And
one.
Darth Vader, he was the chosen one. See, you're actually just rage baiting him.
That's so funny. Clearly Luke Skywalker's the chosen one.
No.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
Anakin's the chosen one. He was born out of the Force. He had 2 kids. Anakin actually, I can't even put it into words because I'm that annoyed. So, Luke is Anakin's son, right?
Yeah.
So Luke comes back to bring Anakin back to the good side at the end of Return of the Jedi.
Yeah.
So, he's still the chosen one. He's the one that kills, like, the Emperor
Yeah.
and the Death Star. You're just trying not to laugh at me.
Yeah, it's quite funny how serious you're taking it.
Yeah, well, I do take it seriously and see, like, the 3 sequels that came out in the last few years with Rey and all that.
Yeah.
Take them back.
Why?
They suck.
Oh.
Because they absolutely shit on the fact that Anakin's the chosen one.
Ah.
Out of nowhere, Emperor Palpatine's daughter comes out and goes, I'm a Skywalker. No, you're no. You're no. Why are you saying that?
Oh.
Anyway, all I wanted to do was tell you I was excited about cinema and you started slagging me. And I get angry and went on a rant about how Anakin Skywalker's the chosen one. And he is. But, yeah.
No, but yeah, I get that to be fair. When it's like, yeah, it's so strange how you, again, character, you get attached to
Yeah.
the character. And films and TV shows and that as well. Like I'm watching Yellowstone just now,
Yep.
and just watching. Imagine having a ranch that big, like all that land and all that, and like he's fighting for it all, and I'm just like on his side, obviously, and really not wanting him to lose the ranch, even though he's got too much land. It's way too much land, but I don't want him to lose it.
I wish I knew what you were talking about. Because I have actually, we've spoken about this for like the last 3 weeks. I've heard about Yellowstone and it's meant to be really good. I'll need to try it because you've brought it up now 3 times and you don't even bring up anime that often.
Yeah, I do bring up anime quite a lot.
Not that much.
No, because Yellowstone is good, but
And what anime isn't?
No, anime.
Nah.
Anime is better. I've just not.
Look, man.
Just now, I've not watched. I'm not watching.
Our cousin said he'll be your anime friend. He commented in one of their posts.
Yeah, he's messaging me.
Is he?
Talking about it.
Ah, that's good. So you finally get an anime
I
friend.
got an anime
Do you want him to come to the podcast as well? I'll just
friend. Fuck off.
Anyway. Aye.
No, but no, Yellowstone is good, but it's just one of those ones where he's got this massive ranch. It's been in his family for 136 years or something like that, and then people are trying to take it. And
I've seen clips of it, to be fair. It's popped up on my TikTok a few times.
You've probably seen the one where there's the young lassie, it's the teacher, and then she walks in. She's like the lecturer, and she walks in. She's got the specs on, that pretty lassie. She walks in, and the one of the students say to her, "Oh, you're the sub teacher or something like that," and she goes, "No, I'm just a teacher." And then one of the boys goes, "Oh, I've seen a film like this before." You seen that clip? No,
I've not seen that clip.
Oh, it's a good clip.
You butchered it if it is.
Yeah, I did butcher it. Yeah.
You're not very good at telling stories.
I'm not, because I just forget things all the time.
It's like, there's this clip.
It's because I've only recently seen it, so then my short-term memory is shocking. But see if I like tell a story, like you, I'm passionate about it, then I'm better at telling it.
I don't know, man. I just feel like I don't even know where I was going with it. I think like, when you're telling a story, like if you get into it and I feel like if you relive it,
yeah,
that's how you're telling the best story. Whereas if you're just like trying to recall it and talking like this and going, and then she comes in, she's the sub teacher. Know what I mean? Like,
yeah. It's because I was trying to think at the same time I actually saying it. I do that quite a lot. Where when sometimes I'm just speaking, but I'm too busy thinking about other things or
the next bit of the story.
bit of the story or something like that I forget what I'm actually saying, and it's quite bad. Surely other people are like that, but
There will be. To be fair, I have days where my brain just doesn't work.
Yeah.
More of that than when it does work. It just done it there.
Yeah. Do you know what I find as well? See all the smartest, most successful people I know also always sound like really stupid.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking that's a good sign that I'm going to be successful.
Well, aye. It's just a front. I'm actually Einstein. What?
You can't even joke about that.
How?
Because how are you Einstein?
Because I'm clever.
Yeah, clearly.
Right, see, this is the guy that we're supposed to be supporting each other here. And I try to say that I'm quite intelligent, and you're like, yeah, clearly.
Yeah, support each other, not freaking in Delulu land.
Delulu land? You're the one that's dumb if you just said that. Delulu land? Yeah,
Delulu land. Oh.
Aye. Well, what have you got planned for the Step Sundays in the next coming weeks? Anything big, or is it just Strathclyde Park?
It's just normal Strathclyde Park, and then we got a what's it called? Not Ben Nevis, Ben Lomond.
Do you know, by the way, I was doing Monroe's for a while through last year and towards the start of this year. I want to start doing them again, but I also want to start running as well, but we'll come back to that. Oh, speaking of coming back to it, well, WrestleMania, I said Randy Orton had another opponent, right, that was lined up.
Yeah.
And I'm not even kidding, right? This happened and my phone went bing, 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 bing. That was my phone ringing like constantly because notification. Randy comes out and he cuts a promo. It's Randy's 20th WrestleMania.
Yeah.
He came out wearing the same colours he wore in his debut, navy and yellow. Looked class. I was buzzing. Cuts a promo and goes, basically just says, you're going to fall victim to the RKO, send them out now, puts the mic down, he's looking up the ramp. No music starts, and the stage door opens, and it's just a silhouette of a guy, and then Joe Hendry's music starts playing. I know you don't know who Joe Hendry is, right?
Nah.
But Joe Hendry's a Scottish wrestler.
Right.
He's a TNA World Heavyweight Champion, and he used to wrestle for ICW quite a lot.
Yeah.
And I was like, what? How? Like, it didn't make any sense, and it just came out of nowhere. Turned around, the place went ballistic, and for about half an hour straight, my phone just didn't stop ringing. Like, people were like, I can't believe Joe's on WrestleMania. I was like, me either. Speechless. But anyway, what was I saying before that?
Monroe's.
Monroe's.
This is a proper ADHD conversation.
Yeah, that was wild. I don't even know how that happened. But I was doing Monroe's for a while, and Ben Lomond's one of the hardest ones I've done.
Really?
Yeah, it's one of the highest, and I done it when it was snowing as well, so it didn't help at all.
Yeah.
But there's one bit of it in particular that's really, really steep. And me and Amy done that one. It was Amy's first Monroe, and
Yeah.
she cried like a baby. There was actually like 3 points where we had to stop to let her cry.
Oh, wow.
And when we got back down to the bottom, the way she was walking downwards because the pressure was all on the front of her feet.
Oh,
She was on her toes rather than on her heels.
Yeah.
And I told her a million times, don't walk on your toes, walk on your heels.
Yeah.
And she was walking on her toes and she got to the bottom and her two big toes were black.
Oh, no.
And 2 weeks later, the two nails fell off. And she's never done a Monroe since.
Yeah, no wonder. Yeah. PTSD, man.
Do you know, it was snowing, right, and we wanted to take it down fast, so that really, really steep bit was really hard to get down. And we had my grand's dog there with us,
Yeah.
Bear, and I was like, ah, sack this, man. So I just picked Bear up, held him like that, and I slid down. That was, I'm not even kidding when I say I was going about at least 30 to 40 mile an hour. It was so fast. And I actually felt myself rolling, and I was like, if I roll,
You're going to crush
he's
a dog.
dead.
Yeah.
Like, and if I let him go, he's also dead. So I was like, no, please don't clip that. I'll end up getting reported or something.
Oh, yeah.
Like that. He ended up being okay, and he had a great day. Like, me and him had a great day, and Amy was in tears if we
Yeah.
I had to buy her a Chinese to keep her happy.
Oh, wow. But, hi, Monroe's are pretty difficult to be fair, but yeah, I'm going to see how many of my clients I convince to do Ben Lomond.
Ben Lomond will be good. It's just, it is hard.
Yeah.
Especially like if your clients have never done any mountains or mountains
yeah.
before, they're going to need like at least
Nah,
3 or
most of them
4
are
weeks.
like pretty fit nowadays, to be honest, so that most of them should be fine.
I would like to think so if you're doing your job right.
Oh, yeah, I'm doing my
Not
job
just
right.
laundering money off them.
Yeah. To be fair, most of the time, I've actually had 2 clients before that weren't making any progress, doing any change of that, and I just said to them, like, here's your money back. Like, you're wasting both our time. Because at that point, you are just taking money off of them. But most of the time when that happens as well, the person does go, no, I will change it. Like,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
then they come back and actually do put the work in. I think sometimes,
People need that scare.
yeah, you need a skip because, like, yeah, I can easily just sit there and take the money off them and just not let them make any progress in that. But yeah, it's not.
There's a lot of PTs that are like that as well. There's not very many that have got the balls to actually turn them away and go, I'm not doing this for you anymore because
Yeah.
it's money at the end of the day.
It depends on which situation you're in that as well, to be fair. But I just always think, yeah, I want a good reputation. So if I want a good reputation,
You need good results.
I need good results. And sometimes it's weird. Like, I tell so many people, like, why can't you do it for you? Like, people will happily go to work and go work for someone else, but they won't show up for themselves to the gym. And it's the same way, like, clients, they'll always happily show up to a session. They'll never miss a session with me. But then I'll see them next week and like, oh, how many sessions? I already know the answer before I ask them, but oh, how many sessions did you get in last week? Oh, I've not trained since I last saw you. And I'm like,
Yeah.
why do you always make time to show up for this, but you don't make? And so I've came up with a new solution, which is going to be the new way that I've always going to work. I can't say anything yet because I want to make sure it goes to plan first. And yeah, it's going to, first of all, give me more time back that I can work on the business instead of always working in the business, because I'm doing so many hours that I struggle to actually do things for the business since I'm a one-man band, technically. And then,
What do you mean technically you are?
well, it's just like, obviously, you have people that help with systems and all that type of stuff that you don't actually work for you, but it's like,
Oh, you mean like the website and stuff?
yeah.
Okay.
So like, if I have things going wrong, you have people sorting stuff and that as well.
Yeah, okay.
So I'm not always a one-man band. You do have teams sometimes helping you, but it's not like they're working in the business and working outside the business. And external, that's it. And then, oh, you made me lose my train of thought. What was I saying?
You were saying about a new change for the business.
Oh yeah, the new change for the business. So that'll give me time back
be able to work on the business more, and it helps clients with like having less of an excuse for not showing up to the gym. So they have more reasons to show up, pretty much.
Sounds good. Sounds like it will be good if it works out.
Yeah, if it works out, yeah. But that's it. I'm going to potentially maybe lose some clients for it, but I'll gain some clients from it as well.
Yeah. Well, that's the
So-
thing. Like, if they want to stay, then they'll deal with the change. But if they don't like it, then
Yeah,
there's got to be another PT out there that'll do it the way you were doing it.
yeah. Speaking of clients, I got one client from this.
Oh yeah, I heard
Yeah.
about this actually. The guy from America.
Yeah, Nick.
Yeah.
He's
Nick.
actually, he's a sing guy, yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's
so
really cool.
a guy from America.
The first bit of profit for the podcast.
Yeah. And you see none of it.
Hey. Aye, cool.
Yeah. But no,
Come see me wrestle, Nick.
yeah. But no, it's actually quite good to see that this obviously is spreading more than we thought,
Yeah.
especially to American.
Yeah, that is
So-
good, to be fair. Remember when I said earlier that nobody watches this? Thank you, Nick.
Yes, thank you. But yeah, it's quite good to see. But things like that with the online side of it and stuff as well is always quite good to do for extra growth and that.
Mhm.
But yeah, it's good to see the business growing overall. But we'll see, hopefully in the near future, some interesting changes
Yeah, that is good, to be fair. I feel like the only way that you're going to grow your business, like,
as risks.
risks like that, yeah, because it's a risk to start it in the first place. But if you take that as the big risk and go, okay, it's worked.
Well, I've only had my business for a year, and then I'm changing how the full thing's going to be run.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. No, like that first risk to actually start it, if you get comfortable and go, oh, well, it worked, so I'll just stay here.
Yeah,
It's either going to collapse eventually or it's not going to grow.
I can keep doing what I'm doing just now, and don't get me wrong, I'm making good money, very comfortable. I wouldn't say I'm big ball and calling, but for a small business, I do all right. But yeah, I don't just want a small business. I want more. Not necessarily just for the money aspect, but I just want a bigger brand, to have something like, for example, Nick and Jen, that I use their gym for my clients and stuff, and they were on holiday for 2 weeks,
Mm-hmm.
and their full gym was still just running,
Yeah.
whilst they weren't there. And I was
This is
like,
what I was thinking, right?
that'd be so cool.
The Clyde One cash register had £525,000 in it last week. So naturally, I entered it. And I was thinking, what would I do with that money? And I was genuinely like, 300 grand of that, I would open the coolest gym that has ever existed in the UK. Boom.
Yeah.
And then I'd probably buy a couple of properties, build the gym up, build a brand, social media, all this kind of stuff. I'm saying this like it's just like that.
That,
But if I've already got the facilities there that I've paid for it and the gym's there, building the social media following and having people come
yeah.
in is it'd be so much easier.
If you have the best equipment, the aesthetic looks nice. It's in a good location.
Yep. I mean, I'd have a barber's, a sauna, a steam room. I would have like the gym, obviously.
This would be a class thing inside the
In a gym.
Oh, you know what'd be good? One thing I really want to do with a gym. I have one really good idea for a gym
Mhm.
that's going to help with people's gym anxiety, but I'm not going to say it because I don't want any cunt to steal it. Sorry, I can't say that word, but I'll bleep it. But aye, one thing I think will be really cool is see just having like a cafe or like a nutrition bit where you can go and it's just all high protein.
There was somewhere in Wishy that done that. Down in
protein
Netherton.
Jakes.
No, Protein Jakes had their bit, but there was a gym in Wishy that was down in Netherton that they got protein coffees from Aroma. They had a partnership with Aroma. Aroma's a cafe in Wishaw that everybody in Wishaw loves.
Oh, maybe in Gym 24.
It wasn't Gym 24,
No.
but I think they do.
They
that
do have
too.
a little cafe bit
But,
as well
yeah,
that does that.
There was one down in Wishy that I went to, and this is where I got the idea for the barbers. They had a barber, a sunbed, they had the gym, and then they had the coffee bar as
Yeah.
well.
Have you ever seen the biggest gym in the world?
No.
Like clips. Oh, it's so cool.
I mean, I feel like at a certain point, size gets
No, but
intimidating and
this,
stupid.
This gym's got a basketball court. It's got the full like a running track.
Yeah.
See, like that you do sled pushes on and stuff. The full length of an American football pitch. Not the width of it, the full length of it.
Yeah.
And then it's just insane. Yeah, it's ridiculous the size of it, and it's just got when you go in, is it a? I think it is a Lamborghini. You go in and it's just a Lamborghini sitting at the front door.
Yeah.
Like stuff
That's
like
cool.
that. It's just awesome.
That is really cool. But
So-
like, for me, it's like, I would be selfish as well because I'd want to put a wrestling ring in it.
yeah.
But nobody's going to want to see that.
Yeah.
Especially, see, like, I say nobody, wrestling fans would, but I'm looking to make like a big gym that everybody's
See,
going to
this is what you need to look at, right? For what you like as a business, right? You always need to look at what's going to make profit for,
Yeah.
right? So you always look at what makes profit first, and then once your business is making good enough profit, then you can start to look at what you actually want. So
Yeah.
you could open up that main gym that has like everything that people are going to want. The next gym could then be like more a small wrestling gym
Yeah.
that isn't going to be a lot of cost, but it's because it's obviously not going to bring in as much.
Even just a wee unit that looks like the aesthetic and fits a wrestling ring in it, I'd
Yeah.
be like, I'll go there myself. I'll just pay for that to be my own.
Me and you should open a gym.
Yeah, that's the plan.
I'm still
eventually.
gonna get a gym that's for my clients and stuff, but I would want to open like a public gym
Yeah,
that was actually like something like that.
Yeah.
That'd be pretty cool.
100%.
But it's to open something like that is just a lot of work, man. To
It's
get in there.
a lot of work, but it's worth it.
You have to start off in a lot of debt as well.
Yeah.
Like, you can't start something like that and not be in debt.
That's why I always wanted to win the cash register. I know that sounds so dumb, but see if you did win that,
Oh yeah.
I'd quit my job on the spot. Genuinely, I would.
Oh yeah, because you.
Because I would make it work. Like, I would
Oh,
have
yeah,
that
you
money
make
there.
it
I'd be
work,
like,
yeah.
I am starting a business,
Yeah.
and that's it. Because then I'm working for myself. If it went well, I've got managers to run the place that take turns. 2 managers that take shifts. Staff.
Wait, how much was the money?
500 grand.
That's definitely not going to have enough for managers and
No, but we get it started first. What I'm meaning
Oh,
is
yeah.
build this big fucking empire gym,
Yeah.
right? That's what I'm going to call it.
Empire Gym.
That's cool.
That's cool, yeah.
Build Empire Gym. Somebody's going to nick that.
Yeah.
Bleep that.
Believe it.
Aye. Build this gym. It'll look great on socials. People will be like, what the hell is this? Even for the outside, I'd have it looking smashing because I've got all the money in the world to make it look that good.
Yeah.
And then, boom, membership, 15 quid a month. Done. For the first year.
For the first year.
And then after that, 25 quid a month.
I would actually think it'd be so good if we'd done a pyramid scheme where it was the opposite way. You know what I really want to do in a gym as well? Is if you use the gym more,
The cheaper it gets.
the cheaper it gets. It's like if you go in and use the gym, 5 times a week consistently, it gives you like a 10% discount or something.
5% off every session.
5% off every time or something.
Aye.
That'd be really cool to do that as well. But yeah, it'd be really cool if we won that money to actually build a gym. Or we could still do it and just take a loan and be in a lot of debt.
Yeah, no, but that's a crazy risk. Like, if you take the loan, how much would you loan to open a gym?
Well, depending, do you want to actually own the building or do you want to just rent?
I'd rent a unit, but I would like a unit that was in a good location with good parking that was okay with
And what, you want it to be
modifications.
this extreme?
No, but that's what I'm saying. It would
Or
need
do
to
you
be
want
okay
to
with
start? Do
modifications.
you want to start? Because you would have to start off first that the facility was smaller.
Yeah,
We need to, you couldn't just go to that extreme.
yeah, no, that's
gym
what I'm
straight away.
saying. That's what I'm saying.
So you're talking, right, if you're wanting a good quality gym, a decent size, plus all the equipment, you're probably talking like 50 to 100 grand.
Yeah, exactly. That's like bare minimum. That's like without all the.
No, I would say that's a good. That's including getting all your floor mats, your
See, like, the
mirrors, your
hexagon
lighting.
top lighting.
the
you'd need
hexagon
that.
top
You'd need
lighting.
that.
You could get the gym that I'm gonna get that's just for my clients. I'm only getting a loan for 20 grand
Aye, well,
because mine's
that's-
is only going to just be a small unit
yeah,
for clients. But if you're wanting it public, then yeah, you would need it a lot bigger. So you're probably like, for example, Block 9, like that's a perfect sized gym, and theirs isn't like this. Theirs is older bodybuilding style,
yeah.
like aesthetic. But if you wanted like a clean aesthetic look, yeah, you could still. You're talking like 50 grand. You can make it look good.
Yeah,
It's like 50 grand if you're charging people 40 quid, 30 to 40 quid a month for a membership.
Mhm.
I don't know how many freaking people would you need? Because obviously then you're having to pay rent, obviously in the building. Then you're having to pay like
Floor staff.
floor staff, maintenance fees, floor staff as well. You could just get PTs to come in and then
Yeah.
give them free rent, and if by doing shifts and stuff, the same as anywhere else. If you're starting off, but if you're talking like everyone say £35 times that by what are you saying, 300 members. Yeah, you're making 10.5 grand a month for 300 members. If there
Wow.
are.
Let's hope my gym.
I don't know why I had to do the maths of that, but anyway.
Yeah.
No, I'm telling you right now, it is possible, but you're going to see no profit for the first year or two.
Yeah, I know.
But yeah,
That's the scary bit though. When you don't see the money coming in and you know you're in debt, that's the scary part.
no, yeah, but that's the risk you take. But I'm going to be in debt soon as well when I open my own gym and all that. But that's the only debt. People are scared of debt, but you shouldn't be scared of debt. Debt is every single rich person is in debt or was in debt to get to. Everyone's in debt right now with the freaking mortgage to pay off and all that stuff.
Yeah, I know.
That's debt. Like, you just pay it off month by month. Don't miss it. If you miss it, then you're more in trouble. But if you're making, not profit, but if you're making money, if your business is making money to pay off, everything needs to be paid off, but you just don't get a salary, that's the risk you take.
But then how do you have a house?
How do you have a house?
How do you pay for the house?
Oh, well, yeah, you still, like, give yourself some sort of...
Yeah. It's a terrifying concept. But yeah, anyway, before I have a panic attack, let's wrap it up. Let us know what you think about... In fact, I'm not saying the name again because you're going to bleep it. Let me think. Aaron, sign us off. My brain's not working.
Right, guys, make sure to give us a like, a follow, and
I'm just...
gun fingers.
Aye.
Yeah, make sure to give us a like, a follow, shares with your friends and all that. And yeah, we will see you all next week.
Cheers, Nick.
Take care. Cheers, Nick.